Welcome to Vetup, the veterinary software that will allow you to deal with all your daily veterinary tasks. So now let's have a look on the different functionalities that the software offers. The main ones are reachable through the different icons located on the top. You will get an access to your sales and orders so you can be able to refill your stocks. Then an owner's database, the animals database, the payments, a calendar where you can plan and follow all your consultations, a to-do list in order to remind you what to do and when to do it, a help icon that will get you through another website that offers a lot of different videos that can help you to handle this software, and finally an icon that will allow you to contact directly the support in order to ask all the questions that you have and to be helped directly by our team. A little bit further, you also have an applications button that open a window where you will find different applications, but we'll not talk about that right now because all these applications will be detailed in another specific video. All these functionalities can also be found in this menu. We'll talk about each of them. The only two ones that you will not find here are these two ones, and then we will talk about it at the end of this video. So let's have a look of the main page. You will have different frames that will show you the most important informations so you can have an overview of your activity. First of all, you have the frame where you can make the search for the owners or the animals. Even you can look to your colleagues through this search bar. Then you have the appointments of the day, so you can check how many appointments you and your colleagues will have during the day. You have here the persons waiting in the clinic, the animals who are hospitalized, a look to the last visits or the last sales that you made in the past few days, the to-do list to remind you what to do and the period when you have to do it, the last updates of the software, and the last news. The medical menu delivers you different informations. First of all, you have the list of the different owners in your clinics. So by default, you have all the different owners and the name of their animals and the main informations, contact informations mainly. You can edit when you have to do it, so you can update the informations as frequently as you need. If you receive an animal owner for the very first time, then you will have to register the information related to him and to his animal. So for that, you go on New, and on the first page, you will be able to register these informations. So everything about the owner, his name, the address, and all the contact informations. On the second page, you will be able to create the ID of the animal with its name and everything related to him. On the third one, you will be able to add some specific informations about the animal, so it will remind you of specificities that you should know. And the last page, in case of disease, you can check this place and so enter a date of death. Now let's go back to the main page where we were before. So, still in medical, we just saw the owner's specificities. You have the same for the animals, so a list of the different animals registered in your clinic. You can also add a new animal and do the same thing that we did through the owner page. And here as well, you can add a new owner directly. Then let's go back to the main menu and in medical to see the other functionality that we have. This one is related to your colleagues. You can just add and check the people you are working with. You have their visits history, all the sending that they made, the reports, the prescriptions that they made, the attachments that they made in their different visits. So you can really check and follow everything about all your colleagues. Still in the medical menu, you also have the informations about your clinics. So if you work or if you own several clinics, you can add the details about them. And as for the colleagues, you can have a global history of what you did into these clinics. The next function that you will find in medical is the reminders. This is a list of the different emails or SMS or phone call that you planned for the owners, so they can remember their appointment or anything that you want them to remember. You can have a look on all the reminders that have to be sent. For example, here from the 19th of August until the 19th of October. So you see that there are 2 reminders that have to be sent. But you can also, if you want, display the reminders that have already been sent. If you select send date, then you choose a larger period. So for example, from the 1st of January until the 19th of October with display sent reminders. And if you do a search, then you will have all the reminds that have been done and sent from here, the 22nd of April until the 17th of August. And then you'll still have the reminds that have to be sent. Creating a reminder is simple. You just have to go directly through the owners or the animals right here. And when you choose, for example, an owner, you can then go on the owner informations and create remind. Then you select email, SMS or phone. So for example, here we see that we only have an email address, so we'll choose email, and then we can create the remind that we want, so we can warn the owner for anything that we want, for example, for the next appointment, or to remind him that he has a vaccination or whatever. You have 2 options to send your remind. You can do it immediately or you can send it later. So if you want to schedule this invoice, you just have to choose the date in the calendar. So let's say, for example, the 25th of August. You can add the subject for the email. So this is a requested thing. Here you can, for example, just look for models that you all have already registered by yourself. So for example, appointment confirmation, the text will be automatically added in the detail, and once everything is filled, then you can send it. So here we can then go back to the reminders, and we'll see that the last remind that we registered has been added to the list. Then we'll see another characteristic of this software when we go back to medical, and we are going to see the waiting room. This is a place where you register an animal and the owner arriving for a visit. So before their visit, you welcome them into the clinic and you can place them into your waiting room. So you just go to newcomer, you select the animal. So let's say, for example, this one. Then you link it to the veterinarian that will make the consultation, all right, and the reason of the visit, and then you save it, and the animal will be placed into the waiting room. The next feature in the medical menu is the hospitalization. This is a place where you can check all the animals hospitalized, are also the animals that have been hospitalized in the past. Let's have a look now to the calendar. So we still find it in the medical menu, but as I told you in the very beginning, we can also access to the calendar through this icon on the top. So we just have to click on it and it will open a new window that will show by default the moment of the day. But if you prefer to have another view, you can choose and select a weekly view or a monthly view. So then you will be able to see a larger period. If you have different clinics, you can also select the clinic that you want to see. Here we just have one, but if you had several ones, then you would have been able to select the one that you want. You can also select the kind of appointment. So if you prefer to only see surgeries, then you click on it. And so if you have any surgery in the period that you want, you will see it. If you go back to a daily view, then you will be able to select this item, and then you will have different columns with the different veterinarian, so you will be able to check what they are doing, and so can follow all their consultations. Taking an appointment is simple. You just have to double click on the calendar and then it will open a window so you can register the appropriate appointment. So for example, you have to select the owner. So then you choose the one that you want. You select the animal of the owner. So for example, pretty. You select the day of the appointment requested. So let's say 27th of August. The time of the day. So let's say that we start the appointment at 14 for just an hour. So until 15. You enter the subject of the appointment, the kind of visit, so here it's vaccinations. If you want to add a description, you can do it. You can also send an email confirmation for the owner, so he will directly receive an email right after you saved the appointment. And you can also send a reminder, let's say 1 day before the appointment, so the owner will remind and remember this appointment. And so when the appointment will have been saved, it will appear in your calendar. So as we selected the 27th of August from 14 to 15. The last feature available from the medical menu is the to-do list. So this to-do list is a way to register some tasks to do and in order to remind you that you have to call a client, to do anything that you have to do, and so to be sure that you will not forget it. So you just have to create a new task here. You can assign it to anyone you want in the clinic. You just write a subject, so for example a phone call, and then you just write anything you want to describe the task that you have. Then you can also select the date when you have to do it, so for example by the end of August, and you save it. So then it will appear in your to-do list. We'll now see a feature related to your sales. So in the new counter sale, you have the opportunity to directly sell any product that you have in your stock to the owner. So you just have to select the animal. So let's say this one. Then you add the product that you want. And once you did it, so then you can make an invoice for that order. Then you can also, for example, print a prescription and write a prescription and then print it. You can email it to the owner. You can also generate a payment. So for example, if you want to pay cash, you can just here put the amount that you receive if it's not the specific amount, and then it will calculate the money that you have to give back. Then you save it. So you can also create a report for that order and write anything that you want in the detail. You can also add a prescription, so then you can directly insert it to the product. So if you have the same prescription, then you can reuse it. You can also email it to the owner. So this is another thing, and then you can close this invoice when everything is done. So now let's see the finance menu. It will help you to get you through all your payments details, your quotes, invoices, but also your accounting needs. For the payments, for example, if you select a specific period, so let's say from the 1st of January until today, all the payments made during this period will appear with some details: the user that generated this payment, the date of the payment, the person that paid this payment, so the owner, the type of payments, so you have the different details for that, and the total amount of each payment. On the left, you will have the total amount of all the payments made during this period, so 8 payments. You can also, if you want to find the selection, choose the way of payment. So if you just choose credit card, then only the payments made by credit card will appear. And you can also choose the clinic related to the payment. So if you rule different clinics, then you can choose the one that you want to see. In the finance menu, you also can check your deferred payment, the overdues. So let's see, because it's important, if for any reason you have some owners that didn't pay any invoices, you can check everything here. You can see that Here, some reminders have already been sent, so it shows you that you already made the necessary things to warn the client. But for some of them, no reminds were done. So if you want to do so, you can just first check the letter that you want to send. So here you have the model that you can register, and depending the way that you want to send it, you can just detail your letter. So if you just want to make a print, you can just write a specific letter for that. If you want to send it by email, you also have a specific model for the emails as well as for the SMS. So once you did this, then you can select the person that you want to warn. So for example, Billy, and then you can generate a payment reminds just for him. So then you select what you want to do, a print, an email, an SMS, or a phone call. So let's say an email. Then you choose the letter that you just registered before for emails, and you send it. So it said that once sent emails has been done, and if you check, you can now see that there's a reminder for Billy. In the finance menu, you can also find other informations about the invoices. So as for payments, you can select a period from January to August and look for all the invoices that have been made. Then you will also be able to do this for the quotes. So then you can find all the quotes that have been made for the owners. Then you will find some specific informations about all your accounting, what you need to do everything that you need. But that will be explained in a specific video, so then we will go back later on these features. The history menu then will allow you to check a lot of different things. So you will be able to follow all your visits, your sales, the medical history, and all the report, prescriptions, attachment that you did. So it's the place where you can find whatever you want. For example, the visits history. So you can still choose a period, so still from the 1st of January, and then you will have all the visits that have been done during this period. So you can see that from the 7th of January until the 19th of August, all these visits have been made. You know who did these visits, the animal, the owner, so you can really check everything. And if you want to have some precision about one of these visits, then you can go on the one that you selected, and then it will give you all the detail that you need related to this visit. When you go back to the history menu, so you can also see all your reports and prescription that you did, the attachments, so all the enclosed documents that you could have registered for a visit or a surgery or whatever. So you can find all these documents in the attachments menu. Then in this history menu, you can also see all your emails and SMS consumption, so you see if you stay or not in the limit that you have, so you can really follow your activity precisely. So for example, if we go to emails and SMS consumption, then you will have look to all your SMS and emails sent during the period that you want, so 1, 3, 6, 9, or a whole year. In the history menu, there's another interesting feature, which is the reminds without following visit. Actually, you will find here all the reminds with no visit after this remind. So for example, if you had warned an owner that he had a vaccination, so you sent him a remind for that, but it never took the appointment for a consultation, so it will appear here, and then maybe you will be able to call him or to contact him to deal with that situation. Now let's have a look to the catalog. In this catalog, you can add all your medical services that you provide in the clinic. You can also have all the products that you sell directly or through the different purchasing company. You can create packs for different products that you want to link together. You can deal with your stock and reorder, have the batch numbers, and a lot of different features. But let's start with the medical services list. Here you will be able to add and personalize all the medical services that you provide in the clinic. So for example, if we take the vaccination, for example, so you'll be able to name it as you want, put it through the appropriate category. You will be able to link it to a specific product that will be used for that kind of medical service. So each time you will do this medical service, this product will be added and will be removed from your stock and will be added in the owner invoice. You will be able to define the price for this medical service. And if it's a medical service that could happen frequently, then you can create a remind each time that this medical service would have to be renewed. So for example, this one year after the act, an email will be sent 21 days before the specific date, so the owner will be able to take the appointment for the next vaccination. And here you can also add a specific text that you would like to add, so it will be sent with this remind. Then, still in this catalog, you'll be able to find all the product list. So here you will find all the products that you want to sell and who are linked with the purchasing companies related to the software. But if you don't work with any related companies, purchasing companies, you can also create your own product. If you do your own medicines, for example, or you can just take the products from the purchasing company with whom you work. You can also place them into specific registers if it's needed, and you can also create a remind for each of these products if it's also necessary with the prescription. The catalog also allows you to create packs. This is, for example, a way to link products together. So when you make a specific service and if you need several products for the same act or the same sale, then they will be directly taken from the stock and removed from it. It will allow you to save some time because you will not have to take each product separately, but they will be taken all together at the same time. The next feature in the catalog is the stock. So here you will have access to all the products that you own in your stocks, and it will allow you to check if you need to reorder or not, if you are going to miss some products or not. For example, the products in blue are products that belong to specific registers, and so you can see the stock, the actual stock. Here is the stock that you would like to have usually, and here is the number of products that should launch the reorder. So automatically, when you will have to reorder any products, if your stock is below this amount, then it will propose you directly and automatically to reorder the products concerned. Then the batch numbers are interesting because they can warn you if some medicines, some products are going to expire. So if it's if the situation, then you will be able to remove from your stock the expired product, or if they are going to expire in a near future, then you will have to be sure that you will be able to sell them before the other product that could last a little bit longer. In the catalog, you will also find the orders. So it's going to be for you a way to order your products from the different purchasing companies available in this software. Then you will also have access to medical services categories. So here you will be able to create all the services that you want for your clinic. And the categories menu will provide you the possibility to create a new category, but also to put some categories into other categories and to create margin specifically for a category. So for example, if for all the food sales you want to apply a 30% margin, then all the products included into this category will get a 30% margin. And it's going to be the same for all these categories that you can personalize with their own margin. The last feature in the catalog is the purchasing companies. So it allows you to see and add any purchasing company that you want. So if you work with a pre-registered purchasing company, you can add it, or you can create your own one. Then we have the stats. You will find here all the necessary statistics in relation with your activity, all the sales statistics, the client statistics, the services. So you will be able to follow your activity really precisely. Then we have the models menu. Here you will be able to create your own models for all the different texts and letters that you want to send. So it will enable you to save a lot of time, because when you will have pre-registered these models, then when you will go to a specific act, then you will be able to take this model and it will be directly put through the mail or SMS that you want to send. So for example, if you go to email models, then you will be able to create your own model for any email that you would be able to send frequently. So for example, an annual reminders. So you can just name the model as you want, put a subject for this email, and then write the appropriate text that will be reused each time that you will select that kind of email in the list that the software gives to you when you want to send an email. Then we have the settings. In this menu, you will find a lot of parameters that you can change. In the general settings, for example, you can change the look of the software and change its color. So for example, let's say that you want to turn to modern purple, so then you save it and it will change the appearance of your software. If we go back, still in general settings, you can also personalize the logo of your clinic, add your clinic email, and you can do so for a lot of different things. So let's go back to our blue. And let's see some other settings that could be interesting for you. So you see that you have a lot of different settings that you can personalize. One of them are the tags, because it's kind of important. You can here add any tag that you want, and it's going to work like an alert when you need to remember something very important. So let's say, for example, here for a diabetic animal, or if you want to create a new tag, let's say so fearful, you can modify the color of the tag. So let's say green. You save it. So this will be added for all the animals, because you can also add tags for owners. So then when you go to animals and you select one of them, you will be able to add this tag if the animal is concerned by this. So settings, as I told you, allows you to make a lot of different change, and you will be able to really personalize your software, and some specific videos will be made to give some more details about all these settings. So while we are on this page that you can reach through the animal database or the owners database, you can see that you have a real overview of everything you can do with the software, and it gives you a quick look to everything. You have the details about the animal, so with the tag that you can add if necessary. Here you can make some changes about the animal if it's necessary to. You can have a look to the customer balance and the overdue. So if the client has some money, owes you some money, then you will see it really quickly. You can also create remind from here to the owner. You can create a new visit, a new counter sale, a new estimate, and a new credit from this page. And you can also have a look to all the visits history, sales history related to this owner and this animal. So we really hope that this video has helped you, and If for any reason you need some more information, as I told you in the very beginning of this video, you have two other icons here. The first one, which is an help icon that gets you through another website where you will find a lot of different videos, so you can select them in English. And if you don't have all your answers with this video, you can already go to this website and find some more videos, and we will upload some other in the next few weeks, so you will have something very complete. If for any reason so you didn't find what you wanted to find, you can also go on this icon and contact directly our support, and by filling your first name and your last name, your email address and your message, then we will try to answer as soon as possible to your request. So we will give you all the necessary information that you want. You can also add a file to your request, so maybe it could help us to understand better what you want. So we hope that this video helped you, and we also hope that you will appreciate to use this software as much as we appreciate it to build it for you. So for any reason, if you have any question about it, just feel free to contact us.